And now, Chewing the Fat Summer Sport Show with your host with the most, Bevan Jones.
Welcome to another edition of Chewing the Fat. Bevo here today down at Helix Player Management. That's right, thanks to the guys, Macca and the team, for organising us one of Australia's cricket superstars, a man who's played 14 test matches for Australia. He's also played 42 ODIs and 16 T20s. We'll introduce him in a moment though. Big thank you to Bickford's here, of course. We've got the new ready drink, iced coffee. Thanks to them for being one of our sponsors, as well as Anytime Fitness, Glenelg and Beresford Wines, all doing a great job. Good SA products, of course. Now, the man to my left, he is the Adelaide Strikers captain. He's also the skipper of the Redbacks and the vice-captain of the Australian Test cricket team. It's a huge pleasure to have him on Chewing the Fat. Travis Head, great to have you on, mate.
Thanks for having me.
So, mate, obviously recently we beat the Pakistan side there 2-0 in the series, finished off in Adelaide recently this week. Both pretty comfortably in the end with an innings with both of those games. Were you a bit surprised in terms of how easy the boys did it against Pakistan?
Yeah, a little surprising on the results, I guess, but I think credit goes to the boys and how well they were able to play for us to bowl the way we did. And I guess the question marks around our batting from last summer and the Ashes to go out and to be so good with the bat and be so ruthless. And that's one thing we've spoken about as a team is when you get a start to go on with it. And we did that tremendously well, and I didn't get much of a go. So, great couple of weeks from the boys. It's a great platform to start our summer, I guess, going into a really big series against New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand's number 2 in the world at the moment, so they're going on quite nicely. I can't wait for this series. How do you boys match up against them?
Yeah, I haven't played against New Zealand for quite a while. I played a lot of one-day cricket against them early in my career, so very competitive side. Again, they're playing some really good test cricket at the moment to beat England and put them under real pressure in their home conditions. I guess we have the home ground advantage, I guess, and we play really well in Perth. Melbourne and Sydney, we've got to find ways, I guess, after last year learning on playing on them sort of wickets, but I guess we started the summer so well last year against India and Perth, so make sure we hit the ground running and to start what we were able to do in the last couple of weeks.
And let's talk about the Travis Head career. Started off playing cricket with Teacher Gully, and then you've obviously gone and played for the Redbacks, skipper the Redbacks, and doing so well with the Strikers as well. And then last year you made your debut for Australia against Pakistan. Talk us through the journey and how it all happened.
Yeah, I guess a long time ago now for me, even though I'm still pretty young. Teacher Gully comes through the ranks. Was pretty fortunate to have Peter Sleep and a very good senior playing group that is still going at Teacher Gully there, and I guess I got rushed through the grades and played a lot of senior cricket at a young age and got rushed through that system. So I'm very fortunate to play with some senior guys over my career and who probably taught me the ropes and taught me the way to go about it. And I think I matured very quickly by playing with older guys. And then, I guess sort of flourished later in my teen years and had a really good 17s and a couple of really good under 19s carnivals for South Australia that sort of rushed me into the redback scene, I guess, and then play first class cricket. Probably something that I didn't foresee happening as quickly as it did, but I guess Chuck Berry to thank for that, and Jamie Cox and the guys who were there when I started, and very similar to my Teacher Gully years where I had some really great senior players around in the redbacks. Had Hughesy, had Maxi Klinger, Andrew McDonald played a couple of years, Coops Ferg, Dan Christian, so I had some really good senior guys. Nathan Lyon was another one, so that really took me under their wing at an 18-year-old, just sort of find the ropes and was pretty rough on the edges probably, and pretty aggressive sort of player, and they taught me everything. So I just loved being around the older blokes, and I guess from the young days at Teacher Gully then moved into being exactly the same position as I was for the Redbacks.
And let's go back to 2015. I was there, Trevor. It was unbelievable. New Year's Eve, you scored your first ever 100 in the Big Bash. It was 100 off 53 balls against the Sydney Sixers. Now, as a spectator, I was like, there's no chance we're going to win this game. Firstly, how the heck did you do it? And what a thrill it must have been in front of your home crowd as well.
Yeah, I guess the Big Bash is a great platform for young players, and we've seen that now with the likes of Weathers and Carey, and I guess that was me back a couple of years ago, and hit the scene, and Yeah, I'm not sure how I quite did it. I haven't been able to do it since. So, but it was one of those nights. It was New Year's. It's a game that you want to play well in. It's a game that, as I've said since probably that night, is we haven't lost a New Year's game, and we want to make it a pinnacle. We want to make it a real show for the Adelaide Strikers and for the Big Bash, and we've been able to achieve that. And I guess that was one stepping stone of making sure that we were able to keep that night. It's something that I guess has set with the fans over the years, and something that I'm going to try and replicate. But it could be more perfect on that night to try and to pull that off and have that spectacle on that night is something that's been remembered, which is nice. It's nice to be a part of, I guess, that culture, I guess, or the history of the Adelaide Strikers to really boom the New Year's fixture and to get it to what it is right now.
And back in last year, actually October last year, you made a debut for Australia. You got the baggy green, first ever Test match against Pakistan. Firstly, what a thrill it must have been to be given your first baggy green and the game itself, mate. How'd it go?
Yeah, everything that you work for, I guess. It's something that I probably tried a little hard for a couple of years before that, and I guess with playing a little bit of one-day cricket, felt like I wasn't far off, and I guess I went to the Australia A tour to India just before that tour, and sort of, I remember sitting there in my hotel and just thinking like, if it's not to happen, then sweet, I'm going to Worcester. I'll have probably a bit of time off after Worcester and chill out. I was still only 24 at the time. I've got plenty of time on my side. Don't worry about Test cricket. Don't try and rush it. And I had a really, really good day tour. So found myself then being in Dubai and in a flash playing Test cricket. So I was really relaxed and calm and wasn't rushing it, and wasn't too nervous or anything. I'd worked extremely hard over that period. So the first things didn't go quite as well as I would have liked, and I guess everything that you work for, and no one really sees the hard work that goes on, and I only see the 3 balls or the 4 balls that I faced in that first innings, and probably thought I wasn't up to it, wasn't good enough. So it was nice to then play a role in what was a magical Test match, to be able to get the draw, batted a lot of time in the second innings with Usman. It was something that was pretty special, and the senior guys of the group that have had a lot of troubles in Asia, I probably won't understand how special that week was until later in my career, when I've probably gone through some of the lows of Asia, and hopefully we don't get to that stage, but I guess the highs and lows of playing over there and how difficult it is, I've got a huge respect for what we're able to do. So a lot of hard work went into it.
And speaking of playing against Asia, against Sri Lanka this year in February, you actually scored your first ever Test 100, went to make 161. You and Joe Burns rescued Australia after a little bit of early trouble. I think they were 3 for 28 at one stage. What was it like scoring your first ever century actually on home soil as well? Yeah,
it was again another magical day. It was something that probably was building up. I felt like I had a really good series against India without sort of going on and getting scores. I started the series really well in Adelaide and Perth. And then I had my opportunity in Brisbane against Sri Lanka, and I think I got 80, 82, 83, and was really, really disappointed not to go on and get a score, because there was a lot of pressure, I guess, on our batting unit around that time with no hundreds. So I guess I knew I was in good form. It was about staying relaxed, and then again got my opportunity on a beautiful batting wicket in Canberra, and was able to go on and make it a big score and win a Test match for Australia. So yeah, it was a perfect finish to the summer, I guess, after I felt like I probably missed a couple of chances. I was able to make it up at the end against Sri Lanka, but yeah, to get that first one was great. It's now making sure I can get a couple more.
And let's go back to the Ashes this year. One of the best ever Ashes series you could ever wish to see, I reckon. Unfortunately, we couldn't win the Ashes series in terms of from a games perspective, but obviously we took the Ashes back to Australia, which is great. Talk to us through the Ashes though, mate, and what it was like facing Joffra with those bounces. Obviously he hit Steve Smith and also Marnus Labuschagne in their helmets, and bowling so fast, and obviously Stuart Broad just swinging the ball left, right and centre. What was it like facing against those guys?
They were an exceptional bowling unit. I think when we went to England, it was all going to be about who could probably get the most runs. We know both bowling teams were exceptional, going to put both teams under pressure. So it was probably finding a way and knowing that at some stages it's going to look ugly, in some stages it's not. We're probably not going to get as many runs as we would have liked, but making sure we could just get enough for our bowlers. That's probably how the series panned out. We were able to find ways to get ourselves into winning positions. Obviously, Steve Smith had an unbelievable Ashes series. Marnus Labuschagne was able to step up in big moments, and Wadey was able to get 200s, and amongst that, I was able to add some really good partnerships. So as a batting unit, we were able to find a way to get the scores that we could win, and our bowling unit was exceptional. It was up there with one of the best Test series, as you said, and everyone you talk to at home has watched it. And as we're on the tour, you get caught in that bubble, I guess, and you don't realise what's going on around you. And I remember talking to the media sort of in Leeds after Stokes, he'd gone nuts, and sort of where's this sort of sit in the big scheme of things, and they were sort of talking it up to be as good as 2005, which at the time you don't really get a grasp on how good it was. And they went to Manchester, and what a test match that was to regain the Ashes, and the only fizz was probably how disappointing the last test went. To if that test was a cracker as well, we would have had 5 unbelievable test matches. So it ebbed and flowed. It was a tough tour to be on, but at the same time it was very rewarding. It was so enjoyable to be on, and to regain the Ashes was an amazing feeling. It was disappointing not winning them, but it's something that a team hasn't been able to do for a very long time.
For people that don't understand cricket, how do the conditions differ in terms of playing cricket in Australia and over there in England? Because obviously some of our batsmen, like Warner for example, so good in Australia, but he has a bit of trouble over there in England. Only scored the 95 runs in the 10 innings.
Yeah, it can be quite different. You can have some unbelievable batting days, and then halfway through the day the clouds can come over, and I guess the conditions play such a big factor in it. We seem to, during that series, bat all the time in the dark and under the clouds, and for the first 3 or 4 tests, we copped some bad end of the stick in the weather front, and our batters did a wonderful job to try and find a way through that. But it seemed like we were always batting in the dark, which is disappointing. It's hard. Obviously, they used the 2017 Duke, which they've changed since with a big. It used to have a bigger seam, more movement in the air, and the wickets are normally pretty green and pretty lively. We actually got some pretty dry, flat wickets, which actually probably played more in our hands with our fast bowlers and Nathan Lyon, who was exceptional for the Ashes series. So the wickets probably suited us more than what we thought they were going to be. When we kept rocking up and seeing dry wickets, we probably couldn't believe what we were getting. But sort of day 4, day 5, we knew Nathan was going to come in the game. So there's a lot of factors in England, factors that can change very quickly throughout the day. You can get 3 or 4 different weather changes, and it just means that big moments of the game move, and the game moves extremely quickly. So we found that in parts of the series, but it makes for great cricket.
And your dad Simon obviously has been a big influence on your career. Shout out to Simon, who was my footy coach at Parry Hills back in the day. Copped a few sprays from him, Trav, back in the days. Does he give you a few sprays as well if you don't score enough runs back in the footy days as well? Or?
He's not too bad now. He's pretty relaxed. I'm a pretty relaxed character, so we don't probably talk as much cricket as we probably used to. I remember the long drive, well, not the long drives, but the drives from home to Teachery Gully, and over the years probably made me to what I am now, and that pretty relaxed and thoughtful, and the process of what's happening and talking through either selections or form slumps or going really, really well. So it kept me very levelled. But there was a lot of them chats. There's not as many as them now. I'm sort of not too worried at the moment, and don't try and get caught up in what's going on. So days off are days off, and I don't try and talk to him too much about cricket. But yeah, again, he was exceptional. I don't get as many sprays now. It's probably because I'm not living at home. So, but yeah, he's a massive part of who I am and what I've been doing, what I've been achieving, and same as Mum as well, to the effort that I've put in over my career. And but the long chats and I still have them with him, but they're probably not as long as anymore, or not. They're pretty quick on the phone, but yeah, he's still there to have a chat to, which is nice.
Excellent. Now, like a lot of cricketers, you love your golf, Trav, but what handicap do you play off? And do you rate yourself as a handy golfer, or are you a bit of a hacker?
I'm 9 at the minute, the handicap, which isn't too bad. I've played the last couple of days. I played actually all right yesterday, but yeah, it's something that's I'm hooked by it. I haven't sort of got the bug at the minute. I've come off it a little bit, and I'm a bit disappointed in the way I'm playing at the minute. But yeah, at any opportunity, I think that's probably the happy place at the moment. I remember at Royal Adelaide, so beautiful place of the world. So to get out and just to be out and be active really means I'm not thinking about cricket. Play with a lot of the senior members there and guys who aren't involved in cricket. So it's a nice escape from what I do. And over the last 3 days, I've been able to get out there a couple of times, which is nice. I have to put the sticks away for a few weeks now. We've got a busy schedule, but yeah, golf's something that I just enjoy. I enjoy the aspect of trying to hit the pure shot and the competitive side of things.
And your partner Jess, you wasn't really punching above there, mate. She's a lovely lady. Well done. when did you meet her, and how's it all going? Yeah,
mate, we went to school together. We're together at school for a bit, and parted ways for a few years, and yeah, couldn't be more happier to get back together. And yeah, she's been amazing over this little period. Been together for 3 years now, so yeah, the highs and lows, I guess, of my career and also hers. But she's done a wonderful job. She's amazing. So yeah, I couldn't be more happy at the moment with how everything's going, and she's been brilliant to have on tour, and gives a great perspective on things, and is great to talk to, and come home after a bad day or a good day, and being consistent, and there's no better feeling, I guess, than coming home. So yeah, she's been amazing.
And in the change rooms, who leads under the Southern Cross these days when you get an Aussie win? Obviously, David Boone used to do it back in the day. Who's the leader in the Aussie change rooms now?
Yeah, Lino got a hand down, I think, from Huss. So yeah, Nathan, we did it out in the Village Green the other day, actually. So it was a pretty special moment under the lights out there at Adelaide Oval. So he thinks of different ways, I guess. It's a bit harder now with media and everyone watching. I guess it got well publicised, I guess, in Manchester when the crowd seen us. I guess the media seen us out on the ground. So find little quirky ways to, I guess, not sometimes get away from it, but it's a pretty special thing to be. It's a pretty special bond, I guess, to sing the Australian cricket song, and it's a great little moment. So he finds little ways of making it special, and yeah, the other night was a great one. So he's got hold of it at the minute, and he does a fantastic job at it.
And is there anyone that doesn't mind a bit of a prank? Obviously, with been speaking to past people involved with footy and that sort of thing, they love their pranks with footy, and you've been involved with footy clubs before, Trav. Is there any guys in the cricket change rooms that don't mind a prank or two?
I'm trying to think. It's more so, well, there's not as many pranks that gets on, because there's probably, I think Darren Lehman was very good at it when he was coach, snipping socks and all sorts of things, but it's probably drifted out a little bit. You can't really mess with too many blokes' gear at the minute. They get a bit funny with it, so there's not as much as it that goes on. Darren was massive on it, and I know when he coached Australia he was big at it, and when he coached Queensland he was even bigger. So I've heard a few stories of Buffer over the years with the pranks. I wouldn't want to be on the end of them. I wouldn't be doing anything to Buffer because he just takes it too fast. So he's had some exceptional ones over the years.
And what about the funniest teammates within state cricket and also Australian cricket? You've done a few boys in? Or? The
funniest ones, Jake Lehman for the Sackers is very funny. I enjoy his company. For Australia, I think there's not really many funny guys. They get the same joke. After spending a lot of time with them, you get the same jokes non-stop. I actually find Josh Hazlewood exceptionally funny. Just sort of this very witty, very quiet and very sly, but yeah, he's always good for a laugh. So I sat with him for 4 months on the bus at the Ashes, so you find ways of getting the good stuff out of him. So yeah, when he says something, it's pretty funny.
And before I let you go, let's finally finish off with that win by the Strikers back in 2017-18, win that first ever BBL. What a thrill that must have been, and who led the celebrations in the change rooms after the game, Trav? Yeah,
well, exceptional night, I guess. It's something that I guess South Australia have been a bit lean on silverware over the years, and it was nice to give back, I guess, after we're very passionate and supportive fans. So it was amazing to actually give back and have some success, which is what I'm desperate to do. And obviously with our Shield competition or our one-day competition for South Australia, it's well overdue that we have some success. So it was nice to have that feeling. The celebrations, they were nice. Went to 2KW, I think, after. I had an early flight the next day, so I think I pulled pin about 3 or 4 in the morning, which is all right for me. I was ready to charge, but had to rein it in. So I actually woke up with a trophy in my bed. So I took control of the trophy, and then I let the boys were going to take it out, but they didn't want to, so I took it home with me for the night. Actually, I think it made a late entrance into the West End Brewery the next day, so that was me to blame because it was in bed with me. So I left the boys and they were going nicely. So, but a magical night. We sat out at Adelaide Oval for a pretty long time and soaked it all in. It was an amazing feeling. So to have a squad to come in for 6 weeks. And the Strikers have always been very good at the culture and the environment that we create. We've had some very, very enjoyable years. We had some years where we finished on top and missed the finals. So to cap it off and to go all the way was with the same group pretty much for 3 or 4 years was an exceptional night.
Well, Trav, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on Chewing the Fat today. Thanks to Macca and the Helix Group for organising you today and giving us your time, so I know how busy you are, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you today. Thanks to Matt Hill for filming for us, and to Bigford's Anytime Fitness and Beresford Wines as well. Take care, everyone. See you next time. Bye for now.